I really think that almost all industries are going to be unrecognizable because of what AI and robotics is doing together. I believe it's just going to magnify the people who learn AI, who learn robotics. It's going to magnify their abilities.
Welcome to the Leader's Mindset, where we bring you illuminating conversations with leaders who are making an impact in business and our communities. Today, we're coming to you from JouleFit headquarters here at Blackfire Innovation in Las Vegas because we're interviewing the JouleFit founder, James Richey. He's going to tell us how these robots behind me are going to help us reach our fitness goals in 2 15-minute sessions per week. And I always love getting out and seeing our tech founders, especially if they've got cool hardware to show us. Our tech founders as our Las Vegas tech ecosystem is growing. So thank you for hosting us today, James.
You're quite welcome. It's great to have you here.
My pleasure. The pleasure's all mine. So before we get started, for everyone watching or listening, like, comment, share this video right now so we can get all the great wisdom that James is going to share with us today out to as many people as possible. If you're listening on a podcast platform and you can leave a review, please leave us a 5-star review. It really helps to build the audience. And don't forget to subscribe because you aren't going to want to miss all the interviews we have coming up with great leaders and entrepreneurs like James. So, James, JouleFit, what is it and how is it going to get me ripped in 2 15-minute sessions a week?
JouleFit is a technology company, and we're using AI, robotics, and data to basically push you towards your genetic potential. We do this by using force matching technology. We're matching your force in real time using a robotic arm. So as you do a bench press at your chest, you can do 100 pounds, but as soon as you get to full extension, you can probably do 200%. And on the way back, another 50%. So our goal is to match your force in real time. And doing that, we work more of your muscle fibers than you could ever work in a traditional gym.
Yeah, and that's the exercise science behind it. It kind of almost sounds like science fiction. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? So, but clearly it's not. Where did you come up with this idea?
I've been a robotic engineer, built assembly lines for about 25 years. All along the way, I was very interested in fitness. And at some point, we were using force matching technology in assembling everything from vehicles to metal products to plastics. And at some point, I wanted to start interacting a human with the robot, hence fitness.
And that's where we're all going, right? It's going to be a world where humans work side by side with robots and with robots, for robots, in conjunction with robots, and we're all going to be able to meet our fitness goals. Now, you mentioned that you're no stranger to robotics and manufacturing. You've had a long career in both of those, and that's some of the secret sauce to how you're getting this done. Before we get deeper into this, tell us about some of your career experiences that prepared you to be the founder of JouleFit.
I am a mechanical engineer by trade. I built assembly lines for many years in the automotive industry, many type of robotic pick and place applications, force matching technology, which we're doing now with the human body, and then high speed packaging that we used in the plastics industry.
Yeah, so I haven't done it yet. I'm going to come back. We were going to try to do that today so we could put this into this video for you guys. I'm going to try to come back and get a little bit of footage of me to put into this interview later on of me looking like a fool doing the robot workout. But what does a JouleFit workout feel like? And why do you think it's going to redefine fitness as we know it?
Once we fit you to the 5 pieces of equipment, we're setting your range of motion. Once that's done, each workout, all you have to do is push or pull. The robot matches you exactly. So it doesn't matter what your starting point is. It doesn't matter if you can do 10 pounds or 1,000 pounds, it matches you. Each time you come back, we're using force matching technology and we're allowing you to compete with yourself. So even if you take it easy today, next time you come in, we're going to push you a little bit further.
Yeah. So the force matching technology is important. It's probably the critical piece of this, right? But there's more under the hood than just the force matching technology that is going to make sure that you are working out living up to your genetic potential. Tell us a little bit more about what else is under the hood that helps you do this and go from workout to workout where you're constantly improving.
When you work out, there's a 65-inch gamified monitor in front of you. Every time you walk in the door, you're competing in real time against your personal best. So it's as if you were running a 100-yard dash. You're competing against your world record time every time you walk in the door. And by doing that, there's a attachment between what you visually see and knowing what your effort level is.
So how does, and don't give away the store, and we want people to come down and see this and try it for themselves, but how does the robot know that it's being safe for you, that it's not pushing you too hard?
We're using servo technology, and we've got a closed loop servo with a load cell. So to actuate it, to get a force, you have to be pushing. So if you're giving it 1.5 pounds, it starts to move and it measures your force. If you stop pushing, it doesn't move. That's how we can have an unlimited safe negative.
That's awesome, because so let's say I'm coming in for a couple of weeks, I'm really crushing it, really improving, and I come in and I have a bad day. You know, I'm not doing as well as I was. The robot can't hurt me because it's trying to push me past where I was last time. The robot's constantly checking to see where I am right now.
The robot matches you that day. It doesn't matter if you have a bad day. So you can come in and do 1,000 pounds, or if you have a really bad night and you come in and you're doing 500, it doesn't matter. Whatever you put out that day, we're matching you exactly.
And he's saying numbers like 500 and 1,000. You're not making these numbers up. People are doing these numbers on these machines, right?
They are doing that, yes. We have up to 1,200 pounds on the upper body and 2,400 pounds on the leg press. But it doesn't matter. We've got people that can push 10 pounds and people that can push 800 pounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your physical capabilities are in the moment.
So disrupting an industry isn't easy. What's been the most surprising resistance you've faced in the fitness world with all this? Because I'm sure you are facing resistance. And how are you tackling that?
The resistance we've gotten is from some personal trainers see this as a threat. Others embrace it greatly because they understand what we're doing with the human body. The biggest pushback from the investment community has been, we're planning to build the equipment ourselves here in the Valley. So that's probably been, they don't understand what my background is. Building this equipment is probably one of the easiest things I've done compared to what I did in my past.
Yeah, going from, because I came from an engineering background, technical background of the Air Force, flight testing, technical stuff, that's a breeze, right? Marketing, sales, pitching investors, that's a whole new world to guys like you and me, right?
Absolutely.
You know, you talked about robots replacing jobs, and that's a hot debate right now. What do you say to people who are worried about robots, that JouleFit is going to take over personal trainers' jobs and take over jobs in the fitness industry?
Well, we plan to hire the best personal trainers that are in Las Vegas Valley. We will probably be some of the highest paid trainers, and we want to open the door for you to engage in this technology and bring your clients, and hopefully you can actually have a better income than you did previously. So
it sounds like you're looking for the best and brightest personal trainers to come be part of this, and
Absolutely.
The robots are going to free them up from the day-to-day helping do the workouts, and their personal trainers are really going to be able to focus on, how do I create a workout plan and a big program for fitness, nutrition, sleep, water, all that kind of thing for my clients, and they can focus on the big picture and not yelling at me to get the bar up one more time. Yes, the technology takes care of all the technical details. So the personal trainers, as we say, we'll call them professional trainers, they will basically engage the client. That relationship is so important. A robot can't replace the human interaction. All right. So professional trainers, get on the JouleFit wagon, come on down, talk to James, holler at your boy, and start becoming one of the best paid professional trainers in the Las Vegas Valley or anywhere. Absolutely. Love it. Okay. We talked about, I'm an engineer, you're an engineer. Nothing ever goes in a straight line in a tech startup. Can you share the toughest technical challenge you've faced with JouleFit and how you cracked the code to make it work? The toughest challenge, and you know, it's not just me. We have a team that does a lot of this work.
The toughest challenge was I wanted to use the technology that's available in assembly and robotics. And when you interface that and do the live graphing in real time, a lot of the PLC technology at the time was not available to do that. So we've built multiple platforms. We're now 100% PC based. And we had to do that basically to graph that real time force curve as you work out.
Yeah. And 10 years ago with a PC, that would have been inconceivable, right?
Yes.
So it's the technology's all marching forward, and robots are transforming industries everywhere. What's the one industry, getting off of fitness, and maybe it is fitness, what's the one industry you think is going to be unrecognizable in 10 years because of the robots coming in?
I really think that almost all industries are going to be unrecognizable because of what AI and robotics is doing together. I believe it's just going to magnify the people who learn AI, who learn robotics. It's going to magnify their ability. So it's going to enable me to do, and it is right now, AI enables me to do 10 times as much as I could do before. So the people that learn the robotics and the AI, it's just going to magnify your talents and allow you to do the stuff that you really enjoy doing.
Guys, get on board with this. Trainers, talk to James, get on board with this. It's changing the world. All right, let's take a little bit of a break from robots. Yeah, we'll get into some robot stuff. Let's play a game. You want to play a game?
I'll try.
All right. This game is called Rapid Response. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to respond with the first thing that comes to your mind. So you don't have to give me a one-word answer. Elaborate as much as you need to, fill in as much detail or as little as you want. But the idea is I'm looking for the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you the question, okay?
Okay.
You ready to start?
I'm ready.
All right. James Richey, rapid response round. Your time begins now. Podcast recommendation.
At the top of my list right now is, other than this podcast,
Well, flattering, but something else.
is Gary Brecka and Huberman. Those are the two big ones, but there's probably 100 that I track.
Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of great podcasts out there, and it's hard to pick one these days, isn't it?
Yes, I'm getting bits and pieces from very many different podcasts.
Love it. Your favorite robot from a movie or book?
That's a tough one. Gosh, I don't remember. There was a robot many years ago that was, I can't even think of the name of it, but it's, well, I would have to look that up.
All right.
I can't tell you that.
We're happy if our guest takes some homework home.
I don't watch a lot of movies that are science fiction.
I imagine not. I imagine you need a break from the science to stay sane in this world. So, someone underrated we should all be paying attention to.
That's underrated.
Or someone we should all be paying attention to.
Right now, I would say Gary Brecka in
Okay.
the biohacking space.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's underrated, but even if you don't agree with everything he says, he's probably one of the best speakers, and he's very good at speaking.
All right. Well, everybody go check that out because I'm going to go check it out. Okay, you get a choice here. Don't answer yet. Your Get Psyched Up song or your walk-on music?
And I should have had these questions in advance.
Well, it wouldn't be a fun game if you had them in advance.
I know it would be. Probably Eye of the Tiger.
Okay, good
I'm
one.
a little bit old school.
Yeah. Never. Look, everybody loves a classic, and no one ever gets tired of Eye of the Tiger, right? Your biggest influence in life?
My biggest influence in life is probably, I have a younger brother who has been very influential in my life. We grew up without a lot of influences, and he went on to do a lot of things, world-changing things, and so I kind of looked up to him.
It's fantastic. A book everyone should read?
How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. No question, that's number one.
You're not the first person on this podcast to play this game and pick that book, and you won't be the last, and I wholeheartedly agree with that recommendation. If you have not read that book, go check it out. It's like 100 years old now.
It
almost. And all the advice in it is still just as good today as it was back in the 1920s or 30s. So check that out. The coolest robot you've ever seen besides your JouleFit.
I've been involved in manufacturing for many years, so some of the metal forming robots and the speed at which they work, and I can't name I can tell you some of the brands, but there's some incredible robots out there.
That's got to be impressive for robots that are just bending metal and doing
Yes.
it quickly.
Yes, I've been in almost every manufacturing plant in the Midwest, so I've seen almost everything that's out there. So amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's got to be fascinating. Your dream vacation.
Is sitting on the beach doing nothing. Anytime I'm close to the beach, you'll find me down there with my feet in the water doing nothing.
Love it. Agreed. A vacation should be about doing as little as possible, not running around doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I agree. An important trend in robotics to watch.
I think there's a lot coming in the wireless technology for sensors. I think that'll be the most important thing that's going to happen in the near term. When you have a robot interacting with a human, you need to make sure that that human is safe, and that's with the contact sensors.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Humans and robots working side by side, working together to achieve our goals, achieve our dreams, not humans being replaced or hurt by robots, right? We want this really positive future where we all work side by side. I love it. Last one. Favorite sports team?
Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
I am a Raider fan now that I am local, but when the Colts come to town, I will probably be observing the other team.
I think a lot of us are in that boat. I was always a Boston fan, so when Boston comes to town, whether it's the Patriots or when the Red Sox come to town to play the A's in a few years. Weirdly, hockey, because I grew up in Connecticut, I was a Hartford Whalers fan, so I never got that deep into the Boston Bruins. That was an easy transition to me for the Golden Knights.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for playing our game. You're a good
You're
sport.
welcome.
You have homework for us on one of the questions, so we'll be looking for that. As you said, you've worked with robots your whole career, but what's the most unexpected lesson working with robots has taught you about working with people?
When I used to work, one of the big concerns with working with robotics is that you're replacing people. And it rarely happens. Usually whenever you put robotics in place, you get much more efficient. So you grow the company. So I think people interacting with robots and being comfortable that they are coming, learn about them because it'll make you that much more valuable.
Yeah, so good advice, whether you're an entrepreneur, startup founder, or you're in some kind of corporate position, the robots make your team more productive. You can free up humans to do the things that only humans are good at doing, which is much better for your bottom line, right? You can increase your prices, you can get more revenue, you can cut your costs, you can, all be more efficient, but it's great for the bottom line if you do this properly and you make sure that you've really got humans and robots working side by side, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Fantastic. What's a leadership challenge you didn't see coming as a startup founder, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest one has been the leadership challenge is I can build all of this. I can do all that. This is simple. Raising funds and getting out and building that network has been the toughest thing. So that's what all of my focus has been on, is building that network.
Yeah, it can be tough switching from being a great technical contributor to being the startup founder, especially when investors are really looking to hear from the founder about what's coming up there. But you've done a bunch of pitching in the last few years. You're getting pretty good at it.
I have done quite a bit, but I still think even all the local pitching, I always pitch to support the groups in town, but it's the relationships. And my best relationships have come from meeting other founders, and they have connections, or just networking. Everyone knows someone along the way.
Yeah, if you're out there, if you're a startup founder or an entrepreneur, and you're trying to do it all alone, you're just going to have a much harder time. You got to build those relationships, build that network, share information. We can still compete. There's still a lot of room for competition, but it's hard to be an entrepreneur and do it out there all alone.
Definitely.
So Las Vegas is really starting to become a vibrant tech hub, which is something we could have only dreamed about here 10 years ago. And in the last 2 or 3 years, it's really starting to get going. So how do we in Las Vegas and our ecosystem here go from good to unstoppable in attracting and supporting tech founders like you?
I think the biggest issue has been the fundraising and having the funds available. And then the other side of this question is, how do you develop the founders to where they're ready to pitch and ready to get those funds?
Okay.
And there's 3 groups in town there's more than 3, but are doing a really good job with this.
Yeah, there's quite a few groups and more coming every day.
Yes.
And it's very exciting to watch. Again, things we only dreamt about 10 years ago in this community are really starting to come to fruition, and that's fantastic. So you talked about what we can do to make it better and get those founders in, get those good pitches into those to those investors. What else would you like to see in our tech community here in Vegas in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you feel like we need to focus on, whether it's founders, whether it's investors, whether it's the agencies and entrepreneurs who support tech founders? What else can we be doing to really make Vegas a great city for tech founders and tech companies?
I think what we can do is develop here in Vegas. We plan to manufacture here in the Valley. There's a lot of technology like Haas 5-axis CNC machines have moved to Las Vegas, and we will be using their equipment. College of Southern Nevada is actually going to be training our future employees. So there's a lot of technology. It's coming here whether we like it or not. And I think getting the universities involved, UNLV obviously, in maintaining some of this talent and keeping it from leaving town.
So if you don't think manufacturing is happening in the United States anymore, it's happening right here in Las Vegas. If that sounds really good to you, whether you're in Las Vegas now or you're somewhere else, come to Las Vegas, get involved in manufacturing here, get involved in our tech community here. You've accomplished so much the last few years with JouleFit. What major goals are you working on towards 2025? And how are you getting the team here fired up to get there?
Our initial goal that's happening in February is we're going to team up with Health Matrix. Health Matrix does the clinical side to what we do, everything from hormones to peptides and all of the red light therapy, all the biohacking. So we're going to go into a location with them and test that model where we have concierge medicine and we have biohacking and we also have your exercise. So essentially a one-stop shop for all things health and anti-aging.
Somebody should have thought of it sooner.
There's people out there doing it.
Yeah.
But we believe we can do it better.
Well, I think you can with what I'm seeing here. Every team needs great people. You've got great people on the JouleFit team. What do you look for in someone who's joining your company, especially because you know how fast things move in tech? What are you looking for in an employee?
I'm looking for someone who's, no matter what the area is, whether it's tech or whether it's financial, or I want someone that's better than me at everything that we do. Ultimately, I like to work on the vision, but I'm looking for people who see the vision of data and technology and human wellness. Our goal is to change the lives of 20 million people over the next 10 years. It's going to take a lot of people and a lot of people that have that vision to do that.
So what's the plan for expansion? Because we're sitting in JouleFit headquarters right now. What's coming next?
Next, we're opening in January in Summerlin, and we're currently in a raise, and we'll be opening 2 of the satellite JouleFit locations, which are the standard JouleFit within this year.
And those are both going to be in Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
So, and then the plan is to go further afield in the coming years.
Yes.
But you're really going to dominate the Las Vegas professional training market, fitness market, health market before you head out of town.
Yes, dominate's a strong word, but yes, we plan to have 3 to 4 clinics here and then 10 to 12 satellite JouleFit locations. The JouleFit locations will be 2,000 to 3,000 square foot. We go into high-end strip malls.
Okay, very cool. I think they'll be glad to have you from looking at some of the strip malls around here. So they're a little empty sometimes, especially as you're expanding. Developing leaders in your company is going to be really important. What are you doing to groom the next wave of leaders coming up through your company?
I'm very much into people who are curious. Right now, we have a lot of talent. UNLV has some programs with the state, also with College of Southern Nevada, where we can bring in interns. So what I'm looking for are kinesiology majors. We're looking for engineers. We're going to be looking for computer science majors. And the goal is to bring them in, get them excited about what we're doing, and then retain the best and the brightest.
Sounds like a plan to me. It's and I love that you're not just looking at those tech folks. You know, I love engineers, I love computer science guys, I love all that, but the kinesthesiologists are going to be really important for the future of this as well, and the medical folks as well. So,
Yes. And we're also looking to one of the things that is very personal to me is the military. I am not a U.S. military member, but we have a lot of people coming out of the military. You've got these young people that most of them are fit, and we want to be able to recruit them to be our personal trainers and eventually run locations and, give a path for people in the military.
every leader has a favorite mistake. What's yours, and how did it lead to a big breakthrough for you?
Um, I am an engineer, and I'm the guy who could read 20 books a week and stay at home and be happy. So my biggest mistake is I've got to learn the human interaction. Not everyone is going to look at the mathematics and the science and the engineering behind everyone. It's bridging that gap to the human interaction and still getting progress where you want to go.
You know, it's funny because when I first learned about JouleFit, 2-3 years ago was when we first met, and I was like, that's really cool. The science is really cool, but the MBA in me, the business degree guy in me went, 2 15-minute workouts per week. He's going to make a fortune. So it's all about what grabs people's attention, right? And the science can grab people's attention, the results can grab people's attention, but I think you're doing a great job communicating all of that. So, and I saw I don't know if it was your most recent pitch, but I saw you about a month ago, and you're doing a great job pitching investors too. So
thank you.
Who's a leader or business figure you admire, and why? What makes them stand out to you?
I don't want to single out within this community, but when you look at the people like Steve Jobs and some, what they've done, there's some local entrepreneurs here in this community that I've seen, in the short time I've been here, really accelerate and grow from the human capacity way beyond. I've met a few people initially and I thought, wow, they're never going to be able to do that. But I saw them attending all the sessions. There's a young lady that's religiously at every event. She's turned out to be she wasn't always an awesome person, but now I believe she's going to be one of the biggest people in her industry.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we've got a lot of great talent here in Las Vegas. So again, if you're not from Las Vegas and you're watching, come check out our tech community here. We have a lot of really great things going on and a lot of really great people. What's keeping you up at night? What are the big challenges you're facing right now, and how are you handling them?
My biggest challenge, obviously, is the fundraising. We're planning on probably raising $100 million over the next 5 years, but we have to get that first 3, and that's the biggest challenge. Did I do enough? Did I network enough? Did I get to that right person? Did I talk about JouleFit enough? So the fundraising is the biggest piece of it. The rest of it isn't difficult, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, because I see you out there with the investors, talking with the investors, pitching. What do you think the steps you need to take to acquire that $3 million in this next round is?
We are in the middle of that right now, and it looks like it's going to be some form of a partnership. I know Kurt on Fusion 42 talks about other types of capital, and believe me, that's going to be our path. So
okay.
I'll talk more about that when it happens. I like to talk about it when it's in the bank, but yes, I've learned so much other than VC.
Yeah, it's not real until the money's in the bank, but there are stages of how real it gets, right? So it's got to be intense working in a high-tech, high-stakes industry. Besides going to the beach and sticking your feet in the sand and the water, how do you stay calm and centered when you're facing some of the challenges that come up?
There's a book I probably should have mentioned earlier. It's Letting Go. There's a book out called Letting Go where you detach the emotion from the outcomes. Early on, when I didn't get funded or people made comments, I would be like, I'm going to show them. And now it doesn't matter. Everyone's where they are. And there's a book out there by Hawkins called Letting Go that just, it changed everything for me in the last probably 6 months.
I think that was your homework, was to tell us a book everyone should read, right?
I guess that is.
I think we got it. We got it, guys. Looking ahead, there's a lot to be excited about. What's the one thing you're most excited about for JouleFit coming up in the future?
This model where we're getting ready to test, where we do the entire wellness model. We are teaming with, I talked about it earlier, with Health Matrix, Tim Patel, a local entrepreneur. That part of it is because the future of JouleFit was going after the wellness model, not just the fitness model. And that's going to start much sooner than later. So at some point, we may be raising together and scaling across the country with that company.
That is exciting.
It's extremely exciting.
I can't wait to see that. Gratitude is such a powerful force in our lives. Who or what are you most grateful for on this wild tech journey so far?
I would probably have to say my mother, because it doesn't matter when you have failures. It never matters. She always believes, my mother always believes that I can do whatever you set your mind to. If you talk to her, you would think I was Steve Jobs, but you know, it may be a little unrealistic sometimes, but it doesn't matter the situation. She's always there and always encouraging.
Aren't moms the best?
Yes, some of us are very fortunate.
All right. For all the future leaders and entrepreneurs out there watching or listening, what's your best piece of advice for someone who's got a big vision, whether it's a tech vision or an entrepreneurial vision or something they want to bring into the world? What's your best piece of advice for that person?
Start talking about it. Start build that network now. If I had to do this all over again, I would have started the networking from day one. Build that network and then start testing the idea. You'll learn more by talking to people about what you want to do. And, you know, it may totally change where you're headed, but, you know, make sure that market is there and make sure people are interested in what you're doing. I mean, we can invent all kinds of things, but if no one's there to purchase them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. Well, build your network. Start with getting to know this guy. Is there anything else you want to tell us about JouleFit that I didn't ask you, or anything you want to leave us with about JouleFit that we didn't get to?
JouleFit, we're going to disrupt the industry. There's a lot of technology coming in workouts. We've got a few pieces that I believe no one has at the moment. So reach out to me and come try us. JouleFit.ai, you can leave your information on there. We're getting ready to move, but please come and try something you've never done before.
All right. If you're in Vegas, you have no excuse not to come down and try out JouleFit. If you're not from Vegas, but you're coming to Vegas, connect up with James, JouleFit.ai. You can schedule a time to come down here and check it out.
Yes.
So do that if you're coming to Vegas, if you're interested in this, or you just want a really fantastic workout, right?
Absolutely. It's 15 minutes twice a week, and that's all your body can handle. The data tells us that now. If you come in more than that, you're going downhill.
Yep.
So we can see that in the data.
Yep. And they're taking a lot of data so they can see it. James, thank you so much for being here today with us. I personally want to thank you for being our guest today, for hosting us here at JouleFit HQ. This is fantastic. I want to thank all of you for watching today. If you found this conversation valuable, go ahead and share it with someone who can use it. Also, don't forget to like, comment, leave a 5-star review. If you're on a platform, you can leave a 5-star review. It really helps us build our audience and get the word out and share all these amazing insights from our guests like James. We have a lot more great interviews coming up in the next few weeks and months, talking to leaders, entrepreneurs, all kinds of folks who are going to share their wisdom about being a leader, being in business, being an entrepreneur. So thank you again for joining us today. Go out there, do great things, keep watching, keep developing your leader's mindset. Onward and upward.